And welcome back to BLOCKTV, where every day our team members scour the World Wide Web for the best offerings in crypto and blockchain. Today, lucky fellows, we got Yonah Hochhauser with everything and anything you wanted to know, but somehow failed to make it onto your feed. Yonah, take it away.
Thanks, Al. Great to be here. Well, Apple Card, Apple's upcoming credit card, recently released its customer agreement. Now, we know the Apple Card, it will come with now we know the Apple Card will come with a ban on purchasing cash advances and cash equivalents, with the latter including, and most importantly for us, cryptocurrencies, casino chips, and lottery tickets. Now, ouch, it hurts to know that Apple considers crypto in the same vein as casino chips and lottery tickets. And secondly, while most credit cards already don't allow cash equivalents, including crypto, Apple Card was setting itself up to be a new type of credit card, hip for the millennials, and with it, they hope, all bet slim, that it would integrate crypto somehow. Thanks a lot for nothing, Apple.
Yeah, what is that card, and I'm glad you brought it in, and I know we're in SMB, but so what is that card really intended to do? Just buy stuff with the...
It's just another way for Apple to get your information. Now it'll get your spending information, your financial data, your bank account stuff. It's just them taking another piece of the pie.
Okay, got you. Yes, moving along.
No story here, just them taking another piece of the pie. Hey, nothing to see here. Okay, but luckily we have this next story. What's one of the biggest issues facing hodlers everywhere? They want to hold their coins, but they also need to eat, find shelter, and live. And in general, this costs money. But they sold all their worldly possessions and bought crypto. And of course, their family will claim that they're crazy for doing so, squandering their lives away, and I should really take that internship at Goldman Sachs. It's a good opportunity, yeah, Mom, for working for the enemy. And I'm telling you for the thousandth time, it's going to the moon, Ma. I'm not a failure. No, I don't care that Chad just got that new promotion. And yes, I know I'm not getting any younger. I will call Grandma more often, but anyway, where was I? Hodlers, right? Hodlers need to buy things, but they don't want to cash out their crypto. We'll enter Nexo, a new startup that is offering a crypto card where you could spend the value of your crypto without actually having to spend the actual crypto. So while crypto cards until now have existed, they simply immediately swapped out your crypto for fiat and settled the payment. Here, the Nexo card will give you a line of credit based on the value of your crypto. So you're not actually cashing your crypto out, and even better, the crypto line is dynamic. So let's say the price of Bitcoin goes up, the value of your collateral goes up, and your minimum payment goes down, or best, even eliminated. So because of this feature, crypto entrepreneur Brock Pierce mortgaged a house in Amsterdam for a $1.2 million line of credit through Nexo. And he hasn't had to make a single repayment due to the rising value of Bitcoin since he took the loan. So hodlers, rejoice. The card is accepted anywhere MasterCard is, so pretty much covered everywhere. Now you can spend the money you don't have to buy the shit you don't need and be crushed under credit card debt just like the rest of society. Yay!
And I just want to reel back, Yonah, you are not a failure yet.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tell my mother that. Next up, Roger Ver stepped down as Bitcoin Cash CEO and switched over to an executive chairman role. Now, the reason I call it Bitcoin Cash and not Bcash is because I don't want to be beaten over the head by Roger Ver. If you don't get what I'm referring to, take a look.
Yes, you are a cheerleader of Bcash, so people point at you as somebody that would be the source of all of this.
Insulting me? I'm not interested in continuing with this. It's Bitcoin Cash. Get it straight, and if you do that again, I'm going to end the interview because I'm not interested in being insulted. Okay, I'm promoting Bitcoin Cash.
It's not an insult. Why do you have to take it personally? It's just a name. I actually like it better.
Insulted here? I'm being insulted. I don't need to be insulted by you. I have enough money. I was a self-made multimillionaire before I ever got involved in Bitcoin. I don't need to have my buttons pushed by people like you on the internet. It's Bitcoin Cash.
Roger, the only reason you want to call it Bitcoin Cash is because you want to co-opt the brand.
I think Bitcoin Cash has a more legitimate claim to being the Bitcoin that was outlined in the bitcoin.org website at this point. So yes, that's my position.
So you personally just want people to think that it's Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin. Read my lips.
You know, it's Bitcoin Cash. Having the amount that you may have spent on Bcash, you're going to have more.
I would like an apology at this point. It's not Bcash. It's Bitcoin Cash.
Look, it's what I call it. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just so easy. It's a nice name. Okay. It really is.
This interview is over. I don't need to be insulted. I was a self-made millionaire before I even got involved in Bitcoin. Now I have even more money.
Who cares if you're a millionaire? It has nothing to do with anything.
I don't need to be insulted by some person on the internet. What's your gross annual revenue for Exotica?
None of your business.
Isn't it? Less than $1 million, huh?
It has nothing to do
Your
with this
gross
conversation.
annual revenue is less than $1 million. So that
Of
means you don't
course.
know how to run a successful business. Of course, we do more than $1 million in sales. on
Bitcoin is not a
on most
business,
days.
Roger. We're not running a business here. Bitcoin
There you
is
go. So,
Bitcoin is changing money. It's
gonna change the
decentralized.
world for the better.
Not
You're
people the same comment. I think that there are only 3 people that want to call Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin Cash. You and Jahan and your sock puppets. Okay? Because there's nobody
Goodbye.
else.
I've never hired a single sock puppet. I don't need to be insulted. But please post this so the entire world can see how incredibly rude you are to me.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. All right, guys, it's over. For those of you that bet that Roger would rage quit, congratulations. Thanks for watching. Adios.
Okay, Yonah, I got to jump in here.
Yeah.
There's those who will claim that the industry is not mature enough yet. It's videos as such.
I love you guys like Bitcoin Cash, bean cash, bean cash.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Now, that is an old video. It's from
Come on.
2017. But in honor of Roger Ver stepping down as CEO, I had to show it. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, no, thank you. First of all, thank you for quantifying that it's 2017. I hope you matured a bit since. Because, yeah, okay.
You better not say Bcash. You better not say.
Yeah. And my children have these conversations.
Yes.
They're not even teens yet. Go ahead.
I'm surprised he didn't say, I know you are, what am I? All right, next up, Reddit user Evan is toxic recently posted a story saying, my mom called me greedy because I wouldn't give her 1 Bitcoin, shaking my head. All right, I see where she's coming from. She hears 1 of something and she thinks you're greedy. But you could have told her it's worth above $10,000 right now and is going to the moon, so you just want to hodl, but I'm sure that would just confuse and anger her further. Now, commenters decided to jump in saying, good call. From what I know about your mom, she would probably just use it to buy drugs anyway. That's a little bit uncalled for, I think, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless he actually knows the mother and her addiction to high-grade, uncut, pure Colombian cocaine, in which case, good looking out, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Next commenter said, I told my mom where I store the seed, just in case something happens to me, like a car accident. You never know. Now, this is actually a smart idea, except I'm such a believer in not your keys, not your crypto, that I memorized my key, swallowed the piece of paper it's written down on to make sure no one can access it, and definitely don't tell anyone. Not even my mother, because when I die, why would she want my garbage coin anyway? The one I'm wasting my life with. It's going to the moon, Ma. It's going to the moon. Now, that's why I like this next comment. He said, dude, she's your mom. Moms can hold grudges till the sun goes nova. Scam her. It's the proper thing to do. Step 1, grab her phone. Step 2, install Konami. Step 3, add BSV and change the freeform text to Bitcoin official. Then, buy her 1 BSV, give her back her phone after showing her the Bitcoin. Every Christmas, complain that Bitcoin is only worth $100 or whatever BSV is at the time. She'll be pissed that you talked her into crypto, but you'll still only be out a scant $100 or so. By the way, if you decide to do this, I'll donate my BSV to the cause.
Okay, these people are shits. Give your mom a Bitcoin. She had you. She carried you. She deserves a Bitcoin.
And I'm sure she spent more than $10K on him in his life, I imagine.
Who cares?
It's expensive raising kids.
She carried you and she squeezed you out of her body. Give your mom a Bitcoin. Yes, go ahead.
You heard it here first, people. The value of giving birth to a kid is exactly 1 Bitcoin. All right, we merely express opinions. We do not actually state facts. Ben Shapiro, another person who does the same thing, a political commenter who has a massive podcast following, recently gave Bitcoin a kind of shout out on his podcast, sounding straight up like a Bitcoin maximalist. Let's take a listen.
I don't like the idea of a central government being able to manipulate currency. It's a way of robbing savings from people. It is a way of the government manipulating policy in order to cover for its own shortcomings. The way that you would do this is you would peg the dollar to the current value of gold. Whatever is the current value of gold, you would peg the dollar to a current value of gold ounce, for example, and then that would be the price of the dollar forever. It would never change. And that would provide an insane amount of stability. I mean, you want to keep the United States as the world's global currency. This would be the way to do it because then there would be inherent value in the currency. In fact, I used to be more skeptical of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically trying to do this. Bitcoin is setting an actual value to a currency that is based on scarcity and is not controllable from above by some sort of manipulative entity. It's all fun and games for the government to play with the currency until you create a bubble, and then that bubble ends up bursting.
Yeah.
The government's not taking your money. Listen, regardless of your views on his political leanings, This is huge exposure for Bitcoin. I mean, he has millions of followers. Not to be outdone, because I know how much you're a fan of him, not to be outdone, Steve Bannon, former chief strategist for President Trump, also over the weekend.
Breitbart fame.
Yeah, he also did, and by the way, Ben Shapiro is also formerly Breitbart, but President Trump recently told Steve Bannon, former chief strategist for President Trump, recently told CNBC, cryptocurrencies have a big future. They can be a very important part going forward, particularly in this global populist revolt. He then said further, and as an owner of Bitcoin, Bannon said that he has had enough insight, enough insight or enough foresight and enough courage to buy as it went all the way down. Now, AKA Steve Bannon admitting that he bought the dip. Yes, he bought the dip, Yeah. It's funny, everyone buys the dip, even Steve Bannon buys the dip apparently. This is interesting because if you subscribe to the idea that all press is good press, then this was a hell of a PR weekend for Bitcoin. I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere, but
if you subscribe to that idea.
If you subscribe to that,
I'm of the mind there. Those who will say anything Steve Bannon is attached to, might be toxic. But there's that.
And I think listen, it kind of does pander to the current Bitcoin community, who is in general, and this is a generality, they are free market kind of libertarian views when it comes to economics, which is more of a Ben Shapiro leaning way. But either way, this also does, regardless of your political views, there are listeners there who this could be their first or major exposure or positive exposure to cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin. And
still, for all of those listening to Alex Jones, definitely that might be the case. But
Bitcoin turning the frogs again.
It's in the media, all across the media, mainstream and non-mainstream and whatnot. We're here to stick and buy your mama Bitcoin. Anyway, Yonah, Hochhauser, suck my blockchain. Thank you very much. We're BLOCKTV.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.